Okay, so one of the major changes that Google has announced is that they're no longer going to show FAQs or rich text results for just about every query out there, except for queries that pull information from government websites or health websites that are highly established, highly credible. And this means that you're going to see a drastic reduction in the number of clicks and also the number of, obviously, visitors to your website. Now, if you even had like one or two rich text results that were ranking very well, you were probably bringing in a decent amount of clicks, especially if you were organically on the bottom of page one. Anything under the fifth place is the bottom of page one, in my opinion. Then this is gonna quite literally kill your SEO in more ways than one, because lower engagement levels means that you're just not going to rank as well in the long term. And so Google sees that as a signal. So traffic is a ranking signal for those who don't know, and this is where I'm getting at. And if there's a reduction in your traffic, you're obviously not, your hope for improvement or going any further without, real-time great SEO on your site is little to none. And now SEO is not just about rich text results, so if schema and stuff like that, that's part of it. But at least for now, rich text results, if you've got schema like I do for a lot of for my own websites or for my clients' websites, if you've got schema, your FAQs or what's called schema, FAQ schema on your site, and you're not authoritative and you're not something that Google looks at and says, all right, this is a government website or this is the most comprehensive website on this topic, you're not going to rank. Now, there's also something that you need to keep in mind is that Google has not said that it's removing these entirely. So FAQ schema, just keep that on your page, because every now and then Google will provide people with the people also ask box for the search query, which is not necessarily from those two types of websites that Google says that they're only going to pull information from. And so they're going to run like what's called an algorithmic lottery. And so if you win the algorithmic lottery, there will probably be 2 or 3 rich text results or FAQs that will appear in Google search. So, don't make that change. Don't remove any of your schema or your FAQ schema from the page. In fact, I would advise that you continue working on your FAQ schema, improve the FAQs, improve the quality of your site so that there's a prospect for you to rank higher. Now, when you go to Google Search Console, you're gonna see a drastic decline in your impressions, or the impressions that maybe some of the pages that rank very well got. And thus, because there are fewer impressions, because you're obviously not ranking for people also ask, you're also going to see a decline in clicks. Now, that does not mean that your SEO is not working for you, is not great, or it's just something wrong. Google has de-indexed your site, because a lot of people are going to email me. They're going to ask, please check if my site has been de-indexed or there's a reduction in my traffic. No, it's mostly just Google not showing your FAQ schema, or what's also called people also ask. Now, how to address this problem? And this is something that I have been working on since I got this news a few hours ago. So the first thing that I would advise you do is obviously build a silo cluster around your content. Now, Google says that it ranks pages and not websites, which is fine, which is something I understand. But how does Google gauge how good a page is, apart from the quality of the content on that page and the links pointing to that page? Well, it also gauges content based on how related content on that website links to the page. So internal links are now more important than your external links. Your external links still have value. I'm not going to say don't build backlinks, but you got to build those internal links even better, and it's got to be even more focused on ranking your money pages. Speaking of money pages, if you're creating a money page now and you're going to start creating it from today, I would advise that you still have FAQs at the bottom of your page. and you also have FAQ schema on the page. Plus, you should have a table of contents at the top of your page, which links to your FAQ schema at the bottom of the page. So if someone clicks on it, it just takes people right down to the FAQs. The reason for doing that is people will have a good experience on your website. The second reason for doing that is I have a hunch that Google is going to rank websites in their Google lottery, so to speak, for FAQs where people have actually read the FAQs, or people have stayed long enough on the page to read the FAQs. So if you give people a good experience on your page, your FAQs stand a higher chance of ranking or showing up in Google search than doing anything else. So the blanks will be filled in by Google's own AI. And so if you've not heard, and I'll put this up on the screen, Google's Bard AI is now crawling people's websites, and so they have a dedicated crawler, and they crawl your website. And Google has said this: the information on your page now goes to Bard, and Bard can use that information to build its own intelligence. So if someone asks a question, they don't want people to go to the rich text results and then click onto your website. What they want people to do is they want people to use Google Bard, and they want people to search, and Google Bard answers them, and Google Bard may or may not provide a link to your website. Google is under no compulsion to do that. So this is where this is headed. So only governmental and health websites will show FAQ schema. Everyone else will get their information from Google Bard, or more precisely, the questions answered by Google Bard, which is based on answer taken from your website. So even though your website is not good enough to show on Google search, Google's people also ask, or rich text results, is good enough for Bard to answer those questions, which is something I think is controversial and something I'm not on board with. Let me know in the comments below. See you guys in the next video.